It's time to start Dishin Days with your hosts, Tony Moore, Michael Mattes, Justin Hareld, and Araceli Avalos. And now, let's dish. Oh, hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Dishin Days, where we're serving up a full dish of this week's episodes of Peacock's exclusive #1 award-winning hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. If you haven't already, make sure you like us and follow us on all social media platforms. We are Dishin Days Show on the Facebook and Dishin Days on Instagram, Twitter, X, and Threads. Also, don't be shy. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're watching us live on our YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. That way you'll never miss when we're going live or when we've uploaded some wonderful brand new Days-related content exclusively for you. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button to our YouTube channel. And if you want some exclusive members only on our exclusive members only page, you can join our exclusive members only page on our YouTube channel for $4.99 a month. You can join us in our virtual events, such as the one today, which is called After the Dish, where we talk after the dish with you. And also you can see some wonderful content from some of your favorite Days actors. So that is $4.99 a month. Just hit the subscribe button.
I think I just understood what you were doing with the For You. Didn't a Drag Race contestant do that when they were, and she just gets it For You.
Yeah.
That's why, anyway.
That's why you snorted?
Mm-hmm. A little bit.
$4.99 a month. You can snort too on our exclusive members only page, exclusively for you. Also, you can find us on the what?
You said you can snort, and I was like, "Welcome to Hollywood."
You can also find us on your favorite podcast station. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. That way you can take us along on a long walk or while you're saddling up on a horse or just looking at the ocean crash into the waves.
while you're climbing the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah. So make sure you find us on your favorite podcast station, search Dishin Days, so that way you are up to date on all the stunts, shows, and shenanigans that are happening in Salem. And last but not least, if you love soap operas and love soap content, why don't you travel over to our former co-host and my chocolate twin, Mr. James Lott Jr., who is serving up a couple of dishes of his own. He has created JLJ Media, who gives you a recap of Bold and the Beautiful, General Hospital, and Young and the Restless. You can also see our review of the new CBS soap opera Beyond the Gates with Walker, Texas Ranger. And of course, he is serving up a few original dramas because James Lott Jr. is the oldest person I know who remembers when Jesus played in a sandbox.
Yep.
So go visit JLJ Media on YouTube and where all JLJ Medias can be found.
Mm.
And now, what did we think about this week's episodes of Days?
It was decent.
Yeah, decent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Before we get started, our co-host Araceli Avalos is missing this week because she is watching a family member give themselves unto the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which some of the people on this panel need to give themselves unto the Lord.
Body of Christ. Amen.
I'm fine.
Not my Lord.
Who?
Oh.
Who that?
Who that is? Okay, so you guys think this week was meh? Yeah.
There was no like major events, but it was engaging enough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Decent, I say. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fine. There was a flow, a little bit of anticipation patient on things.
Storylines are moving.
Yeah. People got a lot of money. People got a lot of money. And we'll talk about that. Just think about what people spent money on this week. He already done forgot. We'll talk about it. Yeah.
I already did forget.
Well, let's remind Michael Mattes, shall we? Let's do our favorite part of the show where we try to say this all together. And record it. Lord have mercy. Jesus, take the wheel, honey. All right, y'all.
Donated money.
It is now time to start
Dishin Days.
Dishin Days. Now, see, you tried to rush it.
What?
See, you can't. You got to take your time, Michael Mattes. You can't be in a rush for everything. This is going to be a mess of a show. Well, the secret's out. Michael Mattes is in a rush for everything. No, I'm kidding. All right, so this week, well, actually, a little bit of last week, which is carried on into this week. Miss Vivian Petrulia Alamain has spilt the beans about the forgery of it all, and then left town.
She said bye.
She dropped the mic and said bye.
Yeah.
Here's how do y'all feel? Because I honestly don't. First of all, I will say this: please let Sarah out of her misery. because if they keep talking about that secret and then she keeps sitting there like
shitting herself anytime someone mentions it, like literally I literally was like, and that's the moment that's the moment Sarah shit herself.
Yeah.
I'm like, her face. It's like, yeah.
There's a part of me that wants the bold Sarah to turn around and go, I knew all along. But the reason why I kept it a secret is because you are going to go ballistic and you would have caused harm, landing yourself in jail. So yes, I thought it was best that we kept the secret from you. And look what happened. You and Philip are getting along. You overtook Demira. What is your problem? That's what I want her to say.
I kind of like this twist on it, though, that technically the secret's out, but he doesn't know the full truth. So I like that. Well, I don't know if I like it, but the fact that everyone's covering for Sarah and is like, okay, we'll take the brunt of this.
Yeah.
So it feels like, okay, there's of course gonna be the final reveal whenever this comes out, but who knows how long we have. But I kind of feel like the things that we were talking about we wished happened, like he sort of forgave Philip. I feel like now that we're extending the storyline, maybe we'll get that with the next reveal. Do you know what I mean? Like when it's revealed that Sarah was doing all this, maybe Xander at that point will have forgiven Philip, or maybe he'll have a little more sympathy for him since he was like protecting Sarah. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's safe to say. Well, it's safe to say now, like we were hypothesizing that maybe Xander knew.
Yeah.
The whole, and clearly he did not. He did. There was a moment this week where he saw Sarah and Philip talking when he had the hot dogs in his hand. And then when he came back, he was like, "Well, what are y'all talking about?" And that moment, I was like, "Oh, did he actually hear it? But is going to pretend like he didn't." But he didn't know the first time. But
yeah, I don't think he did get defensive though, of like, why are you talking to him like he's the bad guy now? So I think that'll be
why are you being so chummy with him?
Yeah.
Bitch, I'm just trying to enjoy my hot dog.
I did feel bad for him though. I like how they played the he was more hurt than angry, at least for like at least a little bit with the Philip stuff, but especially with Stephanie and Alex. You really saw him. He was hurt. He brought up the gardening stuff and about, oh, I'm not your family. And, you know, all of those sort of feelings sort of rushed to the surface. But I'm glad they played it a little bit. He played a little bit of that.
Y'all, was I the only one that was more so disappointed that Abigail and Alex didn't get a chance to go see The Notebook?
Oh, I know.
Like I was like when they went back home, I was like, oh, they didn't
go.
Yeah. I felt bad. I felt more bad about them not going to see the show than everything that went down with Xander. I was like, man, y'all could have at least went and saw the show. But then
is that real? Is it
yeah,
real?
It is.
Okay,
yeah,
I was like,
is.
okay, I'm assuming it's real, but I didn't know if they were alluding to something else.
But I also found it interesting because I was like, why? Did it just so happen to be in the script like that? Like someone just had to pull out like a musical, or was this like one of those like paid endorsements kind of a thing? Because right now, let me tell you, not to bring up other soaps while we're talking about Days, but I'm gonna bring up soaps while we talk about Days. Over at Beyond the Gates, we are knee deep in Febreze and Tide.
Tide and Febreze.
Oh, really? Oh,
they're not even doing laundry, and there's a bottle of Tide right center in the.
Oh, so they're doing the old school advertising. Got it.
But they're not like interrupting the conversation to be like, ugh, this stain. Ugh, I spilled coffee on my shirt.
Well, grab the Tide.
Try Tide stain remover. What? Tide stain remover. Oh,
listen, Procter & Gamble's going to get their money back. Okay,
you know, like get your like if that's all it is like just having a bottle of Tide sitting around. That's you know, pay your bills however you can. You know,
I mean, listen,
we should look and see if the Notebook, the movie, is on Peacock.
I was thinking that, or is it a Peacock, a Universal movie, maybe? Because they would probably have rights to the musical or whatever. You know,
but then why not do Wicked? Because Wicked is streaming exclusively on Peacock.
Did they know 9 months ago when they shot these episodes that Peacock was going to have Wicked?
They could have.
Yeah, because it's Universal. So yeah.
They could have been a part of the deal.
Sure.
Hi, Mom. Shout out to my mama. She's back, y'all. She's back and caught up. Because let me tell you, my mom will not watch the show if she's not caught up. She'll text me and be like, "Hey, I ain't signing on today because I still got to binge watch it." Like, she's like, "I don't want no spoilers." I'm like, "All right, Mom," but she must be caught up because she up in the room, y'all. Yeah, I don't know. There's this like in between feeling that Xander is having. Like, he's not as upset as I thought he would be, but he is upset. But I feel like there's a part of him that kind of. He's more disappointed because I feel like he feels like now the relationship was built on a lie.
It's a different kind of anger than I think maybe he's used to.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like he had the reaction I expected him to have. He was angry. He threw Philip out of the house. He mentioned wanting to like beat him up. I was like, all right, that's how I would expect Xander to react. But I think it's not simple vengeance now. It's like this person that I grew a trust with, that I actually grew a relationship with, that was actually happy he was a part of my life, just betrayed me. And then everyone else, and you know, then other people were in on it and made me look like an idiot. So I think he's as angry as I would expect him to be, but it's a different kind of anger.
Yeah.
I think Sarah should slave all day cooking his favorite Scottish meal. And then, wait, is bangers and hash or bangers and mash one of them?
Wasn't it haggis? Haggis?
Haggis
is probably more. Bangers and mash probably too, but haggis,
haggis. Make some haggis, but then in the haggis, spell out "I'm sorry."
I knew the lie.
Yeah,
I knew that the letter was a forgery.
Al Gregory says the Notebook is not on Peacock.
Okay. Cool.
Thank you, Al Gregory.
And it is haggis. You know, for some reason, I say all these things and I just keep hoping that like fans will clip certain parts of the show and just like put it out there. Like what Sarah would have said, or like giving her this advice of making haggis and spelling out "I'm sorry" in it. Feel free to clip it and tag the necessary folks in it and us.
Yeah. I do like that they're still being forced to work together now because Philip isn't completely out of the picture. he still has to, in order, they have a lot at stake here, which makes sense.
And
They have a lot at stake here, which makes sense. You have to keep up appearances.
Speaking of that, they told Mr. Shin the truth.
Yeah,
which I was kind of surprised by. I thought maybe they would just keep it like, don't tell Mr. Shin or whatever, because he's like, now Mr. Shin has even dictated to them that they can't say anything.
Well, let's be clear.
Xander
told Mr. Shin.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Not they.
Oh, true.
Just Xander. Xander was the one that walked out of the room talking about, I must inform Mr. Shin. And I was literally looking at the TV like, why?
Well,
Why? You ain't got to tell that man nothing. Y'all took over Demara. Leave it alone. Listen, sometimes, like my mom would say, keep your business in the house. Your business ain't for everybody. That ain't for everybody. Y'all can figure that out. I just hope that there are no like repercussions of it. Like for some reason, I really hope that nothing happens with Philip. Like he doesn't go to jail or anything. Nothing happens to Belle because of what she did. I hope that, eventually Sarah really sits down with Xander and say, I knew, and this is why. But then also if she needs to be petty, be like, oh, remember when you dressed up as a clown?
Kidnapped Susan and
So now we all even. Now, do you want some haggis?
You want this haggis?
You.
I can't.
She should greet him Beaver first when she does it.
Now, do you want this haggis or not? Okay.
Oh God,
we're a mess. Y'all, my mom is in the room.
Oh, sorry, Mama Moore.
I can't be talking like this in front of my mama. I can feel her pinching me now.
Neeps and Tatties is the Scottish version.
What? Neeps and Tatties?
You go down the road we don't.
Oh Lord. So I mean that's pretty much it. I know, Mom. I get it from you. But I mean that's pretty much it, right?
Did we get a reminder that I need a refresher, just a little refresher about when the baby switch was happening. Sarah and Kristen's babies were switched, right? So Rachel used to be Mickey.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's been more than one kind of reminder of that. Now it could be unintentional or it could just be like, oh, we need to remind them since they're in a scene together that.
Oh yeah, because she you know what? Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. Because I was like, so you just gonna have Rachel go with Sarah? Like, what is Sarah's? And then now I just remembered that like Sarah slightly kidnapped Rachel and had ran off with her. I forgot about that.
Wherever they were, yeah.
Well, it was also she raised her for the first year. But Xander and Sarah were Rachel's parents for the first year. It wasn't the switch wasn't revealed until a year later. So
yeah, that was a nice reminder because I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, me too. Yep. All right. Oh, and shout out to the new Rachel.
Yeah. She was good.
Who slightly looks like the old Rachel because I had to blink twice. I was like, oh, okay, yes. Okay, yes.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah, well, a good start.
Yeah. Well, that was pretty much it, right?
Yeah.
Secrets out. So. Now we just going to see what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we are going to move on to He's Wide Awake.
He's a kinder, gentler EJ.
I'm like Kristen. I'm like, I can't wait until you are your old self again.
I don't trust anything that is coming out of that man's mouth. Unless, and I'm still of the belief that he had something to do with his own shooting and that being put into a coma and like the seizure he had and like this memory lapse is somehow his own doing. Like he gave himself some of that CRS shit before he knew the shooting was happening. Now, does that make sense? No, not really.
It don't, because I think we both looked at you like, girl, that's very complicated.
It's very complex. Are you really going to put it past this show to?
Yeah, we're gonna have to put it past because there's too many things in play, like the fact that he did get shot, and the fact that
I'm not saying he didn't get shot. I'm saying he did get shot. I'm saying it was part of his plan. He had a plan. He clearly had a plan, or it was we were led to believe he had some sort of plan. Because while he was doing, he was drinking, he was talking to the portrait, and he was like, "I win, ha ha ha." Then he got shot.
Yeah.
So what was he doing? What did he win? How was he winning? How did he think he was winning?
I just really think he was just trying to get drunk that night.
I think it could be a misdirect because I originally thought the same thing, Michael. I was like, oh, what does that mean? Like, is he behind something? But it could also be like he was just toasting the fact that he sort of got over on Belle and they didn't catch him, like with the wire thing that had happened before. And we also remember there's missing time, so we also don't know what happened in that missing time, which I'm sure we're going to get the next couple of weeks. So I feel like that like cheers, I win might be connected to whatever happened in those missing 2 hours or 3 hours, whatever it was.
Well, in that, like everyone is saying, and I didn't realize that was a camera. I just thought that was a listening device. But I didn't realize he saw what Rafe put in.
I don't think it's a camera.
Everyone keeps saying that they think it's a hidden camera.
Oh, no, I thought it was just a listening device.
So did I, but whatever it is, it took Rafe 5 weeks to finally get around to it.
What was that?
only to realize the memory card was missing, and EJ has it. Hi, Teresa Morales. Yeah. So now we thought Rafe was going to be able to be like, oh no, but
yeah. Now a week later, he finally
So he found the memory card.
Does he remember where he put it?
I'm trying to justify my thinking here, and it's
get into your theory.
I'm like drawing okay, so he found the memory card and then somehow formulated this plan to set up his own shooting to get sympathy because everybody hated him.
I couldn't tell if he was assuming Belle did that. Did you guys get that?
No.
Okay, I couldn't tell if he was like inkling like, oh, she put that there, or I don't know. I couldn't tell if that's where he was trying to infer when he was remembering it, and then he was talking to her at the same time. So I was like, oh, is he trying to make the connection? He thinks she did it?
No. Besides, she loves him. She loves him.
He's her lobster.
She loves him.
I think he remembers more than he's letting on, though. The nice guy thing, I don't know if it's like a conscious act. I think he may be feeling those things that he said he was. Again, I don't think it's gonna last long, but I think his memories, he's not letting on as much as he knows.
That's like when Sammy got backed into by that car and had amnesia for 2 seconds.
Then remember.
And then remembered and then tried to fake nice.
She was just trying to iron. She plugged that iron in and got electrocuted.
And got it back.
Got her memory back and then didn't tell anyone. The only person she told was Kate because she remembered she had the blackmail about Kate.
Does anyone else, side note, does anyone else remember that scene?
Yeah, yes, I remember. Yes,
I still remember like somehow she ended up on the ground, and then there was this camera shot where she went, and then you just saw the tail light.
Yeah, and then it was like poof. Yeah, it was like the Megan thing, the Megan EJ hit, like from before. It was very stunted. Very disjointed. That was before they worked out the stunt stuff.
Oh gosh, it was. It's like there's certain images like back in the day about days that I remember. It's that. It's Marlena being in a gold cage,
a gilded cage,
and Charity Raymer's slow look into the abyss of a soap look.
Charity Ramer suffered enough. Okay.
Leave Charity alone.
Gosh, I still see that image of like her. I don't remember the line, but it was like, "Gosh, Philip, what were you thinking?" I was like, like, what is she doing? Anyway, EJ, yes.
Yeah.
I wonder if I mean, whether it's a listening device or hidden camera, I guess we'll find out. But I wonder if he'll remember where he put it so that he can go review it, and let's hope he reviews it faster than Rafe. Can we go back to the beginning of the week though? That damn Susan Banks.
So I had a theory before that Susan had something was involved, that EJ had involved Susan in his plan, but now I don't believe that, because and the reason I thought that is because immediately after the shooting, no one could reach Susan. Susan wasn't answering her phone.
Oh,
and they made a point to mention that. So I was like, oh, maybe he involved Susan somehow. But now I don't think that.
You know what? Why? You know why she couldn't be reached? Because she had a premonition and she was on the plane because she knew her little baby Elvis, something was wrong with baby Elvis, and that they were being mean to her baby Elvis.
This was the first week in a long time I remember hearing Susan say Maine.
Yeah, she doesn't say it all the time. Yeah.
But that was like her that was like her one of her staple. That and calling people vampires was like her staple. Yeah. So it was nice that you are just mine. Gabriela Hernandez.
When Gabi touched her, she went.
That whole interaction was funny. That I give it up to him. And with also Cat being bug-eyed in the corner of like
Cat was sitting there like, what is happening? And then at the end, oh, and you sent your mother a box of chocolates with cherries. She don't like them. And Cat was like, but I did send my mom but I forgot Susan was psychic.
Yeah. I can take that or leave it.
Yeah.
I'm like, can we bring back Celeste and not give it?
Yeah, if we want to have a psychic on the show, yes, bring back Celeste. Call up Tanya Boyd, see what she's doing.
Listen, I mean,
her wigs out and come back to the show.
I do believe if I look in my collection of wigs, I think I do have a Celeste wig. I could be Celeste.
Darling,
I'm having a premonition, darling. Oh, you're in great danger, darling.
I like that every time Celeste brought the cards out, the death card always showed up. Every goddamn time. You were like, you know what's gonna happen. He's gonna we're not gonna see him. She's just gonna be like, oh, death. I'm like, yeah, that's like the fifth time. We know this is
Yes, Annette. I would shave so that I can play Celeste. I sure would.
Who said that?
Annette. What else about this storyline? Oh yeah, before Rex left, everybody seems suspicious. Like Kate seems suspicious. Roman seems suspicious because Roman, what were you doing going to the hospital asking about EJ and then trying to be like, well, Johnny is my grandson and he's da-da-da. I'm like, what you need to know for?
They're making it seem like Johnny and Roman, both of them had involvement together.
Well,
I think what was our hypothesis? A possible hypothesis was that Johnny had the gun. Roman either intercepted him and got the gun and took the gun back and is covering for Johnny, and then put it. And that's why Roman had the gun and put it back, because we didn't actually see Johnny take it.
No, he just looked to see if there was a bullet in it.
Yeah, and so we don't know for sure if Johnny. But I think that was a way to give the writers something. If they decided down the road they wanted to make it Johnny, they had that. But I mean, they're making it sound like Johnny. They started to make it seem like we also got a writer switch in the middle of this. Like, so who knows? You know, what was the plan? What is actually happening? Who knows? But yeah, they're kind of making it seem like Johnny or Roman had something to do with it. But now the focus seems to be on Ava, since they found Ava's gun, and then she went on the run and is now in a monastery.
Ava said she got to go pray about it.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Ava said, "Listen, let me go pray." You know what she's what she's doing? She's washing in the blood, and she's washing off the sins of Salem.
Oh.
And she got far, 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 far away from the mess.
Yeah, I'm also thinking Roman and Johnny either had a separate confrontation with EJ that night, or they had a joint one. I don't know. Like Johnny was there, and maybe Roman stopped him or something.
But we also don't know the time lapse, so we don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
because it could be this. It could be just that. Maybe Johnny looked at the gun first. And he just simply picked it up, saw if there was a bullet in there, maybe decided not, and then put it back. Then once he left, then Roman went and looked at the bullet. Or it could be different. Or it could Roman opened it, looked at the gun, thought about it, maybe put it back, and then Johnny went. You know what I mean? So we just don't know what the timeline is.
We don't know.
We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know.
But yes, Kristen and Lonnie ended up in a monastery together.
That was after the time jump.
After the time jump, that's right.
When the time had jumped.
We're supposed to. We're supposed to. The time jump has been non-specifically nullified, right?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
You just have to suspense belief that there's somewhere around, where, I don't know.
It's supposed to be 2026, but I feel like they dropped that because then whenever they show a date recently, it's the regular date. So yeah, I feel like they've dropped
the year it's supposed to be.
Yeah, they dropped up the pretense.
Or is it
a year ahead?
Or are they just still a year ahead? Okay.
Well, no, it would be 2026 then.
If they really wanted to save a buck, they would undo the time jump and just show the past years of episodes over again. Wouldn't that be a screw? We're going on hiatus for a year, folks.
Here's where we should be. We'll catch you up once we're back. Lord. I'm trying to think. What else? Oh yeah.
I don't remember if there's anything else.
No, Rex left, and luckily, Kate knows that he, about.
She was like,
knows about the gun and all that.
Rat bitch, going to your dad, telling him that I had a gun instead of coming to me. Blabbermouth.
Yeah.
That reminds me of that scene from Waiting to Exhale when the guy in the leather. You raggedy bitch. Don't you throw that up here.
Yeah, right.
Telling us you don't know how to treat ya. You have a son. Yeah, he's almost 13.
He's almost 13. Oh my gosh. Michael Mattes and I for the past 2 days have been quoting movies.
We clearly have the same taste.
Yes. You and I are stuck together like glue. Like he says, mutton chest. Amos and Andy, frickin' frack, spick and span, yin yin yin, arm and hammer, pork and beans. Name that movie. All right. Well, that's all about EJ being awake, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Oh.
Or did we miss something?
Oh. Sean heard Belle say, I love you.
That's why he went and invited Jada over for. Yeah, I was like, okay, that's a reaction to what he just like. Yeah, that was it was a reaction to what she just told him about what happened with Rafe, but also because of what he witnessed with Belle and EJ.
I feel like we need a new segment called Michael's Theories. This is all of Michael's theories and conceptions, theoreticals, hypotenuses.
What could have happened was.
What could have happened was. Yeah.
Nice conversation with Chad. EJ and Chad had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They conversed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm telling you who still wasn't having it. Johnny. Johnny was like, I ain't going to the hospital.
Yeah.
Already been. He wanted to wait.
Could be a result of a guilty conscience.
There's definitely something going on with him because now he don't want to adopt a baby. Oh, is that later?
It's later.
Okay, we'll come back to that. All right, then. Well, let's move on to. We're just breezing right through. Bum, 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 bum. Maggie to the rescue. Dum, 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 dum.
So on one hand, she donates $1 million, right? She donated $1 million. Then was it before or after she told Kayla that she was so cash poor?
Yeah.
I'm like,
but I think she was. Oh, go ahead.
Like, are you cash poor or can you afford $1 million?
I think she was saying that as to why she hadn't done anything up until that point. Because she was saying how, like, in the old days, Victor would have wrote a check.
Or I'm like, is having $1 million at your disposal your idea of being cash poor? Like, you're so fucking rich. Like, you have so much money. I don't know. It was just like, oh, but
probably,
she's cash poor, but she can afford to drop $1 million.
Yeah.
And right off the bat, too. And I was like, why for Chad?
Okay, so her and Chad are going to go on a date?
Yeah. I'm going to tell you who ain't going to go on a date. Alex and Gabi. Because Stephanie shut that down. She said, baby, I don't care if you spend $15,000 on him or not. Okay? Guess what he's not doing? Taking you anywhere. Not for a yogurt. Not for a walk around the park. You get nada. Because he is my man. Heifer.
There weren't only 2 bachelors. We just saw 2 bachelors. Then it was like, oh, we're just going to do it online now.
And the rest are online. But we're going to end it with. And they couldn't let Chad go first and then get his face painted.
Yeah, it was a weird, like, editing thing. Yeah.
Also, I'm going to say this. I love when Days takes their time with a couple. But y'all are moving slower than a snail with Kat and Chad, honey. Yeah. I'm just like, I'm about to be like Felicity, where I'm like, y'all get it together. Get it together.
Yeah, this whole like the and we said it weeks ago, the whole they're like lovesick teenager conversations that they have with each other where, and and now it's like, it's so old, it's so played out. And then like, why aren't they like, now am I wondering, like, why aren't they moving these 2 together? Is there like, what's the reason? Like, are they just really trying to overbuild the anticipation? Is there another blocker at play that we don't know about? I don't know, but it's like they're not even like hugging. They're not barely hugging. They're not even like, why? After months, not even weeks, like months. Like, I feel like Rafe and Jada have been through,
I know.
For example, they were together, got married, or almost got married, went through a doppelganger situation. Rafe came back. They cheated on, blah, blah, blah. All this shit happened. Meanwhile, all of these months that Kat and Chad have been working together, they barely hug each other.
And it's like the wind is is out of the sales now that we know.
Almost, yeah. I'm like,
it's like, okay, well,
it's gonna happen. It's gonna be so anticlimactic now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
something big better happen to where it makes sense.
Even these obstacles are like Charlotte has an issue now, so like that's stopping him. And then who was it? Rachel mistook her for like, why would Rachel not know she's not Abigail now? That was like a year ago. Like, how does that?
Like, that was a little
like, how does that's a weird like that? I was like, okay, this doesn't even make sense. How she doesn't know that that's not her aunt Abigail? Like,
well, you know, Rachel's been too busy kidnapping people, sending text messages. Rachel's been busy. She ain't got time to keep up with the Joneses.
But it seems like they made also the funny thing, ironically enough, earlier that episode or the episode before, they made it a point of her to mention like how close she is to Thomas or like playing with Thomas. And I was like, okay, you would know that his mother is not alive. His mother's still dead. Like, I don't know. It was flimsy. And then like Chad hears that and that completely turns him off from everything they've been going through the past few weeks. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
No, it's no.
Yeah. You're just kind of throwing stuff at the dartboard now to keep them apart. Like
I did, and when Gabi and Kat had that conversation, and Gabi was like, "So, what's going on between you two?" I immediately thought, and I posted it on Twitter, that scene from the movie I, Tonya with Alice and Janney, and she's like, you two fuck yet? I was like, that's essentially what Gabi's saying. She's like, you two hitting it, or what's going on?
What's happening?
And you know what's happening? A whole lot of nothing.
Literally nothing.
Yep. But I did see, like, I liked the friendship possibility between Gabi and Kat.
Yeah. They need to expand our character now. If they're not doing anything with the Chad part of it, and that's not leading story, like I like her scenes with Marlena, but that's on pause. Like we need to expand her character more. Like put her with Gabi, expand her. Give her another love interest or bring back Aaron, or have her visit Market in jail or something.
Poor Mark, still sitting in jail. No one giving two shits.
Every other criminal's walking around.
At least Mark was included in the sibling day or whatever.
Yeah.
They included him in the Green family photo. So,
well, you can't deny he's a Green.
Well, you can't deny he's a Green, no. But he ain't been seen nor heard nor
nothing.
Yeah, spoken about every now and then, but
yeah. All right, well, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I think Gabi JJ stuff was like kid stuff. I mean,
okay, can I ask, have I asked already, whose team are we on? Are we team Gabi or are we team JJ? I will go first. I feel like this. I feel like JJ is actually doing his job and has a reason to suspect Gabi.
Oh, absolutely.
I think Gabi is really showing that, like, yeah, this is why I'm suspecting you, because your reaction is not about, you're my boyfriend, you should know. That's why I know, because I saw you with a gun about to shoot EJ, and you were going to until I walked in. So how do you think that looks for me?
I don't blame JJ, but I thought his approach could be a little different. He could have come in he kind of came in hot a bit, I felt.
He came in like a detective, and he could have sat her down after an empanada and said, hey.
It could have been somewhere, like maybe even something as simple as that conversation not happening in the police station, maybe waiting until they were home or whatever. But also but on, to defend JJ a little bit, when like in his mind, he may have thought like there's no good time to have this conversation. There's no real perfect scenario to have this conversation, that you could tell he didn't really want. He don't want to believe it. So JJ was in a tough spot, and I kind of see, like, I want to defend JJ for how he handled it, because like I just said, there may not have been a better way to handle it, or And Gabi might have reacted the exact same way, even if he handled it differently. But I also want to defend Gabi because if she's actually innocent, I can see myself on both sides of it. You know what I mean? Like, I can see myself not knowing how to handle it for JJ's side, and I can see myself being angry about it from Gabi's side. So, I'm team who Jen said it. I thought it. Like, I'm team them eventually getting over it and getting back together. Like, I think it's something that they can get past, but I can see both sides of it. Like, there was no good way for JJ to handle that, and of course Gabi's going to be upset about it. I would be upset about it if I was Gabi too, despite the fact that he did walk in on her holding a gun to EJ once. But this is in Gabi's, it's in Gabi's wheelhouse to be kind of, to be like that, to have that reaction. Like, how dare you accuse me of that, even though you literally had a gun to EJ. The irrationality of her personality, the irrational side of her personality. And we were reminded at one point that she had gone to jail twice for crimes that she was innocent.
Yeah. And so I kind of felt like he could have approached it more like, I think you're innocent, or even if he didn't, like, I feel like that's the fact that you have a personal relationship with this person. Like, maybe you lead with being on their side first, and then it's sort of like, help me prove you wrong, prove this wrong first.
Yeah.
As opposed to, accusatory, I guess. So they're on the outs temporarily, I guess.
And Gabi, in true fashion, was trying to make him jealous.
Of course. By buying Alex for $15,000. What a waste of $15,000 because you ain't getting no date.
Speaking of JJ, props to wardrobe for the size extra, extra small Henley that they had Casey Moss in for a few scenes last week. And props to Casey Moss for the gym progress shot that he posted on Instagram last week.
Yeah. He's
putting in the work.
Yeah, he's got a big.
He was like, you know what? I'm getting married. I'm on TV. I am going to look snatched. And
on days, yeah.
Kudos to him and the wardrobe department.
Kudos.
It's appreciated.
We know. We know you greatly appreciate it, Michael Mattis.
I'm going to be blocked, aren't I? Every time I say this stuff, I'm like, I'm just begging to get blocked. Like, who's this guy?
We did get a little bit of the gays being gay, which is always nice. With Javi.
Oh yeah, when they were gonna. Oh no, they bid it on Alex.
Yeah.
Leo said he's used to threesomes.
Yeah, I know that.
Eiffel Tower.
I did love it.
But also, Javi, no tea, no shade. You an assistant to Gabi Chic, and Leo, you currently ain't got no money. What bid were y'all gonna put in if it was starting at 1,000?
$1,000.
$1,000.50.
It was like we each can get 500. We'll put it in.
Let's scrape together 500. Yeah.
1,001.
Lord. 1,001.50.
I kind of wish there's a part of me that's like, I would have loved to have seen it played out a little differently than just like they just hurried up and got to the point. And I'm like, there was so much about this bachelorette auction that I wish it, what I'm trying to say is I wish it would have established them more as like eligible, sought after people in Salem to even have the random people be like, okay, do I hear 1,000? And everyone's just like shooting up and that whole like feel. You could still do it quickly, but just to have that feel of like they are prominent people in Salem. And then it would have been great to have like one of them just have like a random person that almost kind of acts like Susan. That's like that Alex Kyriakis, like a Connie kind of,
like one of the old biddies of Salem trying to get her record scratched for $1,000. Also, the picture of Alex that
I was like, what is this?
I'm like, what in the world? That's not even like. I was just mad about it. I was like, of all the pictures floating around, because Alex is the type to be posting selfies every day on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
That was not one of them. I don't know what that photo was.
I feel like they were trying. That was the props trying to be funny. They were trying to recreate the Gabi or the Nicole Xander. You know what I mean? Like, let's use this ridiculous photo here and see if it catches on.
They were trying to troll us. All right. Well, success.
You did it.
Okay.
Oh gosh. All right. Well, those were your top storylines, everybody. And now it's time to move on to our tidbits. But before we do, just some quick reminders. Number one, make sure you find us on social media. Dishin Days Show on Facebook, Dishin Days on Instagram, Twitter, X, and Threads. Also, please be kind and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We just recently discovered that since we started this, we have over 700,000 views.
Nice.
Yeah. Because I got an email and they were like, "You're almost to 1 million views." And I was like, "Who?" And then I looked and it was like 743,000 something. And I was like, "Oh, I didn't realize we had that." So if y'all, shared this and subscribe more, we'll, get to 1 million views, which will be great. Also, become a member. We have some new content coming up. So go ahead and become a member and be a part of our virtual events. We'd love to sit and chit chat with you all. Also, find us on your favorite podcast station. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. So go ahead and find us and listen to us in your car and stuff. And also go show some love to JLJ Media, James Lott Jr., our former co-host, and my chocolate twin on YouTube and where podcasts can be heard. And when you do, just let them know that the kind folks over at Dishin Days sent you. Hello, Araceli. And now let's go into our. I just wanted to make sure I said hi.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought she was in the chat room.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, she could be. Let's go with our first tidbit, which I had to read a couple of times. Baby Black or Baby Demira? Because there was a part of me that wanted to be like, "What you mean by Baby?" Oh. Got it. Baby Black.
Okay, one moment, because I noticed this too.
Yes.
I'm all about the establishing shots. However, you should not be using establishing shots from high profile cities like New York City and Chicago, which were both used this week. Like, you can't use identifiable city. Like, you can't use B-roll of New York City with the iconic like World Trade Tower in the background and then be like, "Oh no, it's Salem." There was also an establishing shot that showed a building that was the Sears Tower or whatever it's called now in Chicago. But then it went to Paulina's apartment or one of the apartment. And I'm like, that's not Chicago. Use the nondescript, like, anyway.
I don't know. Sometimes I'm just listening. Yay, Mrs. Choi came around.
Yeah.
Yay.
Just in time for Johnny to
be like, "No, I don't want to be
okay, JK, LOL. But good for Mrs. Choi. She's, for finally coming around. Took her a little bit longer than it probably should have.
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
we finally. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, nothing. She just came around. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was gonna say we finally got a little nuance, which I was like, "Oh, this is where the story should have been." Before, when Tate was hesitating, signing his name, I was like, "You guys have not explored any part of this. Like, we've got nothing of their perspective. Like, you're telling me neither one of these teenagers are even slightly regretting giving up a baby. They're not wondering, you know what I mean? How's this going to be? Like, I don't know. I feel like that's been the huge missing part of it. Part part of me thinks that because I think the baby isn't going anywhere and the baby will be there. So maybe that's why they're not focusing on it. But I don't know. I just felt like that part. And then we had the scene with Paulina and Brady, which I thought was really nice, where she was like, yeah, you may be happy about the adoption, but this is still your grandchild. And it's, you know what I mean? It's like none of these things are being brought up before. It's, I don't know. We got a little bit of it when Brady didn't like the fact of EJ being the grandfather. I was like, okay, finally, like a real emotion here regarding like inter-family adoption. But I don't know. I appreciated the fact that they finally had like Tate or Sophia take a minute and pause to be like, oh, we're actually giving up our child. Yeah.
Because they're starting to bond now. That was a cute little Lamaze little class that they had on the couch and stuff. I mean, at this point, I'm like, all right, Sophia, you and Tate, great. I'm loving it because I'm kind of been over Holly and Tate.
Yeah.
And I realized I haven't seen Eric and Brady in a while. Like he popped up this week and I was like, where you been?
Yeah.
What's been going on with you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It sucks though. I mean, I kind of get where Johnny's head is. As far as like being like, oh my gosh, like, you know, after everything that I feel like I've been through, and now I'm gonna like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like maybe he needs to sort through his stuff so that he can open his heart to love a child that's one, not his biologically, and to raise him in a way that I think he thinks he should have been raised.
Yeah.
You know?
I think the net of this whole situation is that it happened very quickly. It was like one day. It was like in one day, all of a sudden, okay, they were giving the baby to Johnny and Chanel. Johnny and Chanel wanted the baby. And it's like that decision of, you know, who the baby was going to, they wanted it, was done so quickly. And then the barrier was Mrs. Choi and getting her to agree to it. But like the initial decision happened like that. And then they were focused on getting Mrs. Choi to agree. And now that Mrs. Choi has agreed, now, but I think both sides are starting to think more of the effects of it, or the ramifications, the implications, or of it actually happening. Like on Johnny's side, he's like, oh shit, I'm gonna become a dad now that it's actually able to happen. And then on like Justin was mentioning on the Tate and Sophia's side, they're kind of, you know, they felt things and whatnot. So now they're actually, now the thought behind it is actually happening now that it's all in motion.
I don't blame Johnny either. I completely get with everything he's just gone through with his own father. It'll make you start to question, like, what kind of father would I be? Do I really want a family? Is this the right time? Like, I think that's a perfect like response and natural progression. It's just unfortunate that it's all coming to a head, but yeah, it makes sense at least.
Yeah, this is stuff he should have went through already before they decided to. Well, never mind. He just found out.
Yeah,
get it together, Johnny.
Yeah, that stuff really threw him for a loop, I'd say.
They going baby Chanel and Paulina going baby shopping already, honey. They ready. He better say something. So, all right.
I just no, I was like, will Chanel pull a Juno and like take the baby herself?
I don't think Mrs. Choi gonna have that.
That's what I'm thinking. That would be the only, but interesting. I mean, you know, they have money.
Oh yeah, because that baby ain't gonna want for nothing.
Yeah.
Mrs. Choi tried to be like financially.
It's like, girl, we have more money than you, right? We just want to put that out.
Because remember, nice house.
I know.
All right. Well, that was your week of days, everybody. And wow, we zipped through that in a whole hour.
Oh, did we?
Oh, wait, is that it?
Oh, I saw more.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I wasn't looking at
You're right. We do have more. Okay. Yeah. Time to move on, which is what I was trying to do. Basically, do y'all agree that Rafe and Jada needed to call things off?
At this point, they at least needed to take a break. Yeah. Did they need to break up permanently? No, but I honestly didn't feel like, I guess it did feel like a break up, not on a break. Because then Rafe was talking about like, oh, I got offered a job at the FBI out of town and I'm going to take it. And then I'm like, are we losing Galen again for a few months? Are they resting his character again? Which I don't think is, it's not absolutely necessary to rest a character just because that character's relationship ended. If that is in fact where they're going. But I don't know. I felt like, the conversation was very honest and at this point I felt like they, maybe it would be best for them to move on.
They've done all they could do. It's time that they're through. Their relationship is over.
Yeah, I agree with the break. I'm still not sold on. I don't know. Maybe it's they haven't invested in it. Still don't know about Sean and Jada. It's just sort of like putting together. Yeah.
I don't know. There's something. There was something a little about it. Oh. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, I feel like I don't mind Jada and Sean.
I don't mind them either.
But I think I was over Jada and Rafe for some reason. Yeah. Like I was just like, I don't know if it's like, I don't know if it's there. And I feel like now it's so murky too with like, Finnegar coming in and it's almost like they tried to just like start their relationship back up from where they were. And it just seemed like, well, now we had time to see what life is like without Rafe. Yeah. And I'm like, maybe it's better on the other side.
Yeah, I think they should definitely take a break. I just think with the Sean and Jada, I feel like they had them sleep together. And then right after it was like, this is a mistake. Rafe's back. We're cooling things. And then it just sort of fizzled. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe they'll give them a proper, like, I don't know, come together now that Rafe is, that everything's in the clear, basically. But before it was just kind of disjointed. I felt like how they got together and then.
Do you think that if they did not sleep together, but the way that they've been towards each other, as far as like being there for one another, post like relationship stuff and like hanging out with each other, having a drink with each other, eating Chinese food at the house, do you think that would have made you go, huh?
Yeah, much better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I also think after they slept together, it didn't feel like there were lingering feelings. Like maybe from Sean a little bit, but from Jada, it was like, Rafe's back. Okay, that was a mistake. We agree. I was getting over Rafe. You were getting over Belle. It sort of seemed like two friends just kind of like sleeping together because they needed each other. And then it went like back to our regular life here. And then there wasn't like a lot of lingering or a lot of like, oh, did I make the right choice? Did I, there wasn't any of that the past few weeks.
Nope.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not opposed to them. I just think I'd rather see, like, give them a
different progression.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I see that. All right. And last but not least, a very disgruntled employee hunting. Gabi is not having any of this turnover. And I agree.
This seems odd. I'm like, where are they going with this? I don't really understand. Like, I understand the stuff with Philip was interesting because I was like, oh, I forgot about that. They've had their stuff. So I was like, oh, is this going to be like him taking revenge? But now it seems like it's Xander who's pushing this. And I was like, well, I'm like, is there Xander Gabi beef I'm not remembering? Or like, you know what I mean? Like, why does he care about an ad? You know what I mean? Like, he's interfering for an ad campaign. It's like weird. I don't know. Like, why are you that involved?
I feel like it's one thing to like take over Demira. Great. But like, did you feel like the businesses were failing, because Gabi Chic has always been one of the top things.
As far as we've been told, Gabi Chic has been thriving.
Yeah. So why come in and muck everything up for what? Revenge for why? Like, you could have said, "Hey, I'm your new boss. Have a good one," and then just like let her do what it do.
Some bosses, when they come in, when they take over, they do feel a need to assert power. Just what's the word?
Ego, narcissism,
arbitrarily. It's not that they care.
Oh, arbitrarily.
Like they just need to like feel like they need to let the underlings know who's in charge, whether they actually care about it or not. Like they'll find ways to assert their power.
It just don't make sense.
It doesn't
let that girl run her company, and then y'all concentrate on the other sour parts of Demara, so that everything can catch up to Gabi Chic.
I did like Brady's sort of like reminder of that she did screw him over, like, because at first I was like, oh, are they talking about like what happened like 5 years ago? And then I was like, oh no, they're talking about what happened like a year and a half ago.
What she and Stefan did to him.
Yeah, I forgot about that. And I was thinking the original them, when they like 5 years ago or something, they were like gonna partner up, and then she screwed him over. I was like, oh, he's referencing that, and it was like, no, he's referencing the Stefan stuff.
I forgot about that. I remember us discussing that when it happened and how shitty it was of them, and how like we weren't on board with them doing that. Like we were like, okay, yeah, we understand, but we didn't like it. So it was a nice reminder. Nice reminder of that.
Agreed.
Yeah, I forgot about it too until they mentioned it. They've packed in so much storyline within like a year's time that it's so easy to like forget those blips. Whereas back in the 90s, it was like this somehow managed to drag the same storyline out for like months and months and months.
Yeah, it wasn't a long one. It was only a couple weeks or so. But
All right. Well, finally now, that was your week of days. I got it right this time. And now it's time to head into our favorite part of our show, which are our segments. And we're going to start with mine, which is Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Okay, listen. Y'all were talking about Hurricane Sammy, baby. Let's talk about Hurricane Susan Banks, okay? She gave me life. The way that she was sitting on this bed and had rolled that chair up under her foot so that she could have leverage, when she was using her psychic powers so that she could talk to EJ, when she coerced Belle to tell EJ how she felt, when she felt the devil and main vampireness of Gabi. But the thing that I chuckled at the most is when EJ said what Belle did to me. And Susan was like, what did Belle do to you? And he was like, she stabbed me in the back. Oh, she stabbed you in the back. Nobody told me that she stabbed you in the back too. Like, not actually, figuratively. I hollered. But that little day and a half that we had Susan was amazing. So she gets my 3 Snaps Award. Stacey Hyde, Susan Banks, you get Tony's official for being wacky and cuckoo as ever and never mine. 3 Snaps Award. Oh, snap! All right. And now it's time for Caption That.
All right, this week's Caption That photo comes courtesy of Rafe and Jada and their breakup. And this week's caption goes to Deborah Bright, who I assume is Debbie Bright, the same one and the same, and not a different Deborah Bright, with their caption, Jada, listen, would it make any difference if I got you a teddy bear? It was one of those captions. I read it and I was like, oh, that's it.
Yep.
Another Duke, honey. Duke is finally going to have a brother.
Not Duke.
Not Duke.
And that was Caption That. And now it's time for
Those Were the Days.
All right, everyone, taking you back to April 22nd, 2011, where we had this actually fake Rafe, Arnold Finnegar, when he was pretending to be Rafe, has a one-night stand with a character named Alicia, played by Kelly Thibault, who you may not recognize from back then if you don't, but you may recognize her from when she showed up again in 2020. This time she played Zoe Berg, who was Orpheus's daughter and Evan Christian's sister, and who ended up being the guardian of David. So a nice little sort of bookend to her coming on originally and then coming back 10 years later and playing a different character, but also working with Galen here. So yeah, and hashtag let's bring her back, since we've gotten a few Orpheus children references over the last few months or last couple weeks. So yeah, and I also liked that time when Rafe was like dad to David and doing the single dad thing. So yeah. Fingers crossed. We know Kelly is not on GH anymore, so yeah, let's bring her back to Days.
Oh, she's not. She won an Emmy.
Yeah, she's not. Yeah, they killed her character off, I think.
Damn.
Maybe a year ago. Yeah. So yeah, that was April 22nd, 2011, when fake Rafe Arnold Finnegar had a one-night stand with Kelly's character named Alicia.
And that was
Those were the days.
And we don't have a It's a Gift because Araceli is watching someone take themselves onto the Lord. And so we do have a little bit of
news and gossip.
All right, we are starting off with some casting information. The first is we have a new Ariana Horton coming to the screen in the form of Marissa Reyes. She'll debut this May for a multi-episode arc. If you may recognize Marissa, she actually stars in the Kate Hudson show, the Netflix show right now called Running Point. Or you may recognize her a couple years ago when she was on Raven's Home. But yeah, welcome to Marissa Reyes. We actually got to meet her yesterday. Was that yesterday?
Yeah.
Yesterday.
I completely spaced out. Like, I remember seeing her and saying hello to her.
Oh, you didn't recognize it?
I have two shits of an idea who she was.
Yeah.
And then I saw it later. I was like, oh, I'm at the age. People need to wear name tags, otherwise, yeah.
But yeah, we're getting a little bit more of a grown up Ariana here. So yeah, welcome Marissa to Salem. And again, yeah, she debuts in May. So
they did a good job selecting who like looks like Gabi, like Sherry's daughter. Like you could see her being Sherry's daughter.
Nice, yeah. So welcome. Then next up we have our friend, lovely Kennedy Garcia, who we spent a good amount of time with this weekend. She's actually in the new AT&T photo campaign called Connecting Changes Everything. It's a cute ad here, and you can check that out on her social media at KennedyJean04.
I feel like I know the woman hugging her.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I feel like I do.
Is her name in the thing?
That's what I was trying to look at, but okay, maybe I don't know.
Is that Paloma? No, okay, maybe not.
No, that's
okay.
That's
that's the agency. Yeah.
But shout out also to Kennedy, my little walking buddy. She was like, "I'm going to stick with you."
She walked with you the whole time.
Yeah, she did. She was like, "I'm going to walk with you because you're my favorite." And I said, "Well, let's walk, honey." And we walked, and we listened to Tate McRae's album.
Yes.
We were living our life under that umbrella.
And she gave us a private concert, a show later on for lunch. She was working, yes.
Let me tell you, she was working it out, honey. She had the choreography down, honey. Yes. And two of my favorite parts was the hair toss, but also the peek through the hair.
Yeah.
Like her hair was here.
But
you could see her. Baby, you can't tell Kennedy Garcia nothing, honey. She is an entertainer.
Yes. So yeah, go
shout out to Kennedy.
Yes. Next up, we have a little update from Makitra Sullivan. She's actually going to be starring in the new season of BMF. This is season 4 on Starz. So big congrats to her. That actually premieres on June 6th. And then she also did, if you want to know a little bit more about her, she also did a guest spot on season 2, episode 40 of the podcast Elevate Your Game. And Keitra talked about finding your passion outside of basketball. For those that don't know, she's a former D1 athlete. We know turned actress, host, entrepreneur. So can listen to that, Elevate Your Game, on all streaming platforms, or the Elevate Your Game YouTube channel. And yeah, go check it out at akitra.civilian. Yeah, for Instagram.
And for those of you who forgot Akitra, she played Thalia, Jada's sister.
Yes. Yes. Next up, we have some Days Online stuff. We want to send a big happy birthday to friends of the show, Stacey Hyduke, who celebrated her birthday this past week.
Yay.
Really cute. I love that photo. It's gorgeous. Yeah,
it is. I love the video that she posted. Because that was one of the videos one of the dancing videos that we did. That was like a snippet from that. So the person who was riding the bicycle as she was skating was me, and I was like, oh, I love that video. That video was fun. Mm-hmm. We're overdue for a dance video, Stacey.
Yes,
I mean, in case she's watching.
Yes. Yeah, happy birthday to Stacey. Next, congratulations to Casey Moss and True O'Brien. We know that they've been engaged for a little while now, but they actually had a wedding shower this past weekend. So we know the nuptials are fast approaching. But yeah, they had a wedding shower. Excuse me, did I say baby? And a wedding shower thrown by their family last weekend. So big congrats to them. I'm sure, the day is coming in soon. So yeah. Congrats to them. And then we got a little update from our new writers, Paula Quickly and Jean Marie Ford. They sat down and did an interview with Soap Opera Digest to sort of let their fans know sort of their vision moving forward with Days. And they want to say, quote, first and foremost, Days is going to be a show about family and love / romance. What just happened? Okay, all right. Family and love / romance, end quote. The duo will address the fate of super couples Jarlena and Bope, and they said that the 60th anniversary celebration that's coming up is going to bring in this new sort of fun, exciting umbrella story that's actually going to carry them into the new year. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I know people were commenting, especially this past week, about the new writers have officially, we now know, taken over. So,
side note, we forgot to mention the cliffhanger on Friday, which was Hope calling Sean saying something wrong with Bo.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, no.
That's it.
So I'm sure we'll lead right into this. And then we got some congratulations to friend Julie Dove on our podcast, True Texas Crime, The Significant Life of Angela Stevens. We told you a couple of weeks ago she was nominated for a Webby Award. Well, this past week we know that she actually did win that Webby, or one of the Webby Awards for Best Indie Podcast. So big congrats to Julie. I know this was sort of very close and personal to her, and she put a lot of work into it. So yeah, big congrats on that.
You can do it. Put your back into it.
Yeah. Then we had. We talked about a little bit about Alice Halsey in the review, but she is our new Rachel Black. She actually sat down and paid a visit to Days' social media room to give us a little bit about herself, a little get to know her. She talked about when she started acting, what she does in her free time, and sort of memorizing all those lines of dialogue. So yeah, go check that out at Days Peacock. And welcome Alice to the show. Yeah. Then we have some reminders. The Day Players are still going strong. They are actually
the Day Players
doing a series of concerts this past weekend. But moving forward, they still have shows in Albany, Pottstown, and San Diego. They, of course, have their Canadian show, which we've been telling you about, on September 6th. And then they just, past day or two, added a new show. This one is going to be here in Glendale, LA County, on August 1st of this year. And all tickets and information, you can go to thedayplayersband.com.
The Day Players.
Star Image.
He's got Tourette's over here. Like, what's the matter with you?
That's how they always say it. They always like, whenever they start a video, they're always like, what's up, everybody? We're the Day Players.
Moving on. We have Star Image. We have our Q&A cocktail Zoom. This next one is with Abigail Klein and Eric Martzoff, taking place on May 4th. So get your tickets. I'm sure that will be a fun one. Then, of course, we have the summer concert and dance party event that they're doing on the weekend of June 20th through 21st of this year. And that Day Players show that we just mentioned, the one that's happening in Toronto, they're actually teaming up with Star Image on that one. So you can get tickets and information also through Star Image for that. And then we have our Days of Our Lives in Nashville event. This one is happening the weekend of October 4th and 5th in Nashville. And all tickets and information, you can go to eventbrite.com/Star Image Entertainment. Then we have our Samantha and Friends events coming up. This Winter Wonderland charity fundraiser we were telling you about is taking place next weekend. I think that is, weekend of May 3rd through 4th. And then, of course, we have the Haunted Mansion later on this year, the weekend of September 13th through 14th. All tickets and info, you can go to samanthaandfriends.org. Then we have a new one. This one comes courtesy of, in participating is our friend to the show, Mr. Greg Vaughn. Sorry, Greg Vaughn. This one is called Jazz and Heroes. It's a charity fundraiser to benefit Veterans Health Network. It's 2 events that day taking place on Saturday, September 6th. All tickets and information, you can go to sothis.ticketleap.com. Yeah, and last but not least, we want to just take a minute to do a little bit of a recap of the homie home runners, the Pan Can Walk that we've been telling you about and helping raise money for and participated in on the team. We just want to say a big congrats to Martha, Dan, and Eric for sort of spearheading and co-chairing it. They just did an amazing job getting fundraising and getting the work out. And our team, Hoagie's Home Runners, has raised a combined total of $57,808. And I think we were the top team, if I remember correctly. I think
we were one of the
if we weren't number 1, we were number 2, I believe. So
it was in the top 3. I remember thinking I was like, oh wow, in top 3.
Yeah.
Ended up in the top 3.
Yeah, so big congrats to them, everyone who came out to participate, and especially everyone who fundraised and donated. As you saw, we were out there yesterday and just had a great time. And I don't know if you guys want to say anything to that, but just a great time, a great cause. We ran into a lot of friends. A lot of the cast came out to participate, all in honor of Drake, of course, and raised a lot of great money for pancreatic cancer research.
I just want to continue giving a big shout out to Martha, Dan, and Eric for spearheading this with not only the cast of Days, but also the fans of Days. I think it was a great event. It was rainy and windy, but we all still showed up in honor of our daytime legend, Mr. Drake Hogestyn. Martha did a beautiful speech regarding Drake and told his story. So shout out to that. And it was nice, just like, seeing people who are raising awareness of pancreatic cancer, who raised funds for pancreatic cancer, who have survived pancreatic cancer, who were remembering those people who lost their lives to pancreatic cancer. So it wasn't like a sad, it was a very joyous occasion. So it was great. And it was good. And it was great to see the cast show up in honor of Drake as well. So it was a great time. And it was great hanging out with my co-hosts of Dishin Days.
We always have a good time.
Yeah.
We always have a good time.
Even early in the morning when it's in the rain.
Yes.
We make it fun.
We definitely make it fun. And I think we know each other so well that anytime someone went, oh, we knew what that meant.
I just need to be better about recognizing people.
And that's connected with our fans who definitely always feel welcome to come up to us and say hi or let us know you like the show, or it's nice when we can meet up with people. And
we saw Iris, we saw Jen, we saw Ashley. The guy's name I can't remember. I apologize.
Yeah, a lot of familiar faces.
A lot of familiar faces, yes.
Yeah. So shout out to everyone. Thank you guys for supporting. And it was great. It was a great day. It's a great day to see everybody.
Yeah.
And Jen, who flew in from Tennessee, hope you made it back home safely. She just said that great to see you too, Jen. She just said that it is that they're now over 58,000. Yeah. So
over 58. Thanks everyone. Yeah, it's amazing.
That is amazing. All right. And that has been
News and gossip.
all right. Before I introduce what's going to happen next week, I want to shout out to our members. Just a reminder, right after this, like literally right after we say bye, on over to our Zoom so that we can chit chat a little bit more. But before we head out, everyone, let's take a look at what's going to happen this week on Peacock's Days of Our Lives.
One Stormy Night by Stephanie Johnson.
This story is getting stormy.
I'm not sure if I can go through with the adoption.
The clouds are getting darker.
EJ Demera is dead to me.
He's hiding something dark.
And the winds are about to change.
It's my dad. He's dying.
The drug that you were working on could save my brother's life.
I wish I could help your brother, but my hands are tied. Dr. Russell's not going to change his mind. His drug is my dad's only shot, and we need to steal it.
Days of Our Lives.
Oh, okay.
Oh. There's a lot to digest there.
Mm-hmm. What did the fist say to the face? Pow!
All right. Well, we'll be back next week to talk all about it, y'all. And we'll be rejoined by Miss Araceli Avalos. But yeah, until then, this has been Dishin Days. Thank you guys so much for dishing with us. If you want to know where you can find us, Michael Mattes, where can they find you to find out all things Michael Mattes?
Instagram and Twitter at ML Mattes.
Justin Lee Hareld, what about you?
Find me on Instagram at Justin Lee Hareld.
And of course, you can find Araceli on Instagram and Twitter at Thea323Araceli. You can find me on all social media platforms at Lounge with Tony, and you can find us at Dishin Days Show on Facebook and Dishin Days on Instagram, Twitter, X, and Threads. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another wonderful episode of Dishin Days. We hope you have an amazing week. And hey, don't forget to tune in to Days of Our Lives every weekday, Monday through Friday, exclusively on Peacock. That's it. Have a great day, everybody. Until next week. Bye.